Hey guys, it's Mike Chen. I've been traveling to a lot of different places around the world this past year, and what I really wanted to do this year is go to more of the cities right here in the US, because we got a lot of great food right here. And of course, I've done a lot of videos in New York, so I figured I go to the next closest big city, and that's why I'm here today in Philadelphia. And when you are in Philly, you gotta use some cheesesteak. Of course, there are just a ton of great cheesesteak places in Philadelphia. So on this trip, we're really gonna go take a cheesesteak tour of Philly. And I wanna go to places I've never been before, try it out and let you guys know what I think. Well, actually, correction, we are gonna go to a lot of places I haven't been before today, except for this place. I was here at John's Roast Pork about 8 to 10 years ago. I tried their sandwich, and it was absolutely love at first bite. So I don't know why it took me so long to come back, but my first stop in Philly, it's gotta be here. Now this place has excellent cheesesteak, but they're really known for their roast pork sandwich, which is just, oh my, you gotta just try it. And they're open at 9 a.m. This is the perfect breakfast. Let's do this. I would love to have a cheesesteak with sharp provolone.
And pork with broccoli rabe.
I'm going to take your pork order. I'm going to give your steak over there.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. So if you want cheesesteak, come to the first part of the counter, and then you come here and order your roast pork sandwich, which you must do when you're here. So excited. Thank you. Let's go. I think this cheesesteak day is one of my most anticipated, most excited food days ever. I'm gonna start with the cheesesteak first because you're gonna save the best for last. As soon as I unwrap this, I can smell the cheese, the bread, the beef. This is almost too much for me. It's like overwhelming my senses a bit. And look at this, so much beef in here. It's loaded. Cheese is beautifully stringy. That cheese, it's socking me in the nose right now. I mean, look how juicy the sandwich is. All that juice is being soaked into the bread right now. That's one of the beefiest, cheesiest, most delicious bite of sandwich I've had in a long, long time. Excuse me. If that's not beefy, I don't know what is. And oh yeah, that cheese is sharp. It's a little peppery, creamy. The onions, delightfully crunchy and fragrant. Look at the bread. I mean, this is like a hoagie, right? And I know I squeezed it a little bit, but look how thin it's become. Look at this bread to meat ratio. Tell me you don't want a bite of this. My first Philly cheesesteak in such a long time. This thing is giving me like food goosebumps. Oh. And by the way, this is the most peppery cheesesteak I've ever had. I feel like it's almost numbing my tongue a little bit. All right, I think I'm ready. This delicious cheesesteak has opened my palate enough where I think I'm worthy enough for the roast pork sandwich. I feel like there should be a spot of sunlight shining on this sandwich right now and Hallelujah singing somewhere by angels. Oh, look at this. Spinach, this thinly sliced pork, and all that gravy is soaked into the bun. Again, sharp provolone cheese, bread and meat ratio, spectacular. There's so much pork here, this would be like Angry Birds' worst nightmare. Here we go. I've been thinking and dreaming of this encounter for, like I said, 10 years now. I thought of every possible way it could go. I could bite it, it might not be as good as I thought, or they changed the recipe a little bit. It tastes different. I wouldn't get the same feeling I got the first time. It's all back. All that feeling's back. Oh my gosh, the feelings. The pork is so succulent. The sharp provolone, perfect contrast to that nice fatty porky flavor. The spinach to the pork is like Robin to Batman. The perfect compliment. And again, look how much pork is in here. The bread just soaked up that heavenly porky elixir, which turns it into like almost a moist chaser that Ross loves so much. I love how the texture and flavor just hits you in waves. First, when you bite into the bread, you get that slightly tougher outer layer, and then it's just pure gentleness inside. As you chew, the pork hits you, and you're kind of like in a porky daze. Then the spinach comes, and it offers that almost like cream of spinach texture and ridiculous complementary flavor that kind of wakes you up from the porky dream a little bit, but at the same time making that dream slightly better. Then you get that sharp, peppery taste of the provolone cheese. That's when you wake up ever so gently and wish you could have that same dream over and over again. And you can by taking another bite. I know this is not a cheesesteak, but Philly, I feel like it's more than just a cheesesteak town. It's a sandwich town. And this is its mayor right here. And I'm sure like I'll discover other great sandwiches today, and I'm so excited for that, but oh my God, it's so wonderful to visit a past love. I need a little private time with this thing, and then we'll head on to location number 2. This next place I heard a lot of good things about from my local friends. Jim's Steaks. It looks like almost an old-fashioned diner. You got tables you can eat outside on. Oh, this thing has been here a long time. Yeah, I love a cheesesteak with whiz with onions. Yeah, hook me up, man, please. Thank you so much. That looks delicious, dude. Onion steak. That's Mr. Jim. I heard great things. Thank you.
Best cheesesteak, man.
Best in the country? All right, you hear that? Number 1. That's Mr. Jim right there. Oh my, you're an institution, my friend. Oh. This is almost hurting me at how good this looks. It's like a mountain. I don't know if I can close the sandwich up. I just ate a lot already, but this is just, come on, let's get a closer look at this. This might be the most overly stuffed cheesesteak I think I've ever had. And a couple of observations right away. It's much juicier than John's. Look at this. You guys want to see a beefy waterfall right here? One thing I do love about this place is I cannot believe they serve roasted chili peppers. Look at this thing. It looks like a crazy tentacle. This thing is crazy. This thing's a chili with little chili stuck to it. It's like a chili magnet. Oh God. Wow. This is the most tender beef I've ever had in cheesesteak. Not only is the beef superbly tender, it is just ridiculously cheesy, because when you get the whiz cheese, I mean, that cheese really seeps through every single nook and cranny and gets on top of that beef and clings to it until you take that sultry bite. Hang on, this is gonna be the best part. That's the moneymaker right here. Oh. Oh. You see where all the excess cheese is just kind of gathering, hanging around at the bottom right there? That's where they all go to party. And now that party is right in here. And they give you a ton of extra size. Pickle, I think, is a must, because that's gonna cut down on a lot of that cheese. It's gonna enable me to eat more cheesesteak today, which is really important. But this, I need a bite of this just on its own. Wow, there's actually a lot of oil in here. Ooh, there's the heat. Wow. And oh, that's a lot of heat. It's almost like my chili oil, except for they're using a whole chili pepper, and they fried this. And oh man, it is intense. Whew. Take a bite of this now. I think delicious, moist, tender, delicate, cheesy, beefy. It just doesn't even begin to do justice for this cheesesteak. I'm just gonna add in some pepper. Oh, by the way, that bite with a pickle, marvelous, marvelous. Let's just do like a one all-encompassing bite right here. Oh. That's everything cheesesteak lover could want in that bite. I mean, I never lived in Philly. I never had a cheesesteak tour like I'm doing today before. But so far, greatest cheesesteak I've ever had. Oh, that beef is just magical. That's magical beef. Oh, and the onions and So onion is actually really, really tender and this sweet. This, you gotta just add some heat, add some pickles. It's gonna make this already beautiful sandwich even more fabulous. God, this is good. Also the roll, just wanna say really quick, it's so gentle and soft. It kind of almost blends in with the tenderness of the beef itself. Perfect cheesesteak. And the cheese whiz is so incredibly creamy. It's like a creamy cheese with tender steak, delicate onions on such a soft, gentle roll. This is like the tender mother's kiss of all cheesesteaks right here. One thing that cheesesteak does to me, I don't usually drink soda, but I've just been really feeling a cream soda right now with a cheesesteak. Bite of cheesesteak, a little cream soda. My day is going so well right now. And it's only getting better, I think. Because after this, we're off to location number 3. There it is. Next place I'm going to, Cleaver's Steaks, Shakes, and Brews. Could I get a cheesesteak?
Sure.
Thank you so much. And Cleaver's is not like any of the restaurants I've been to so far today. It's actually a sit-down place, and they bring your cheesesteak to you. And the cheesesteak's a little unique as well because just like at John's Pork, the cheese is on the bottom. So the whiz is not drenching all over the meat. It's right over the bread. So it's like a cheesy bedding for the beef. Again, a lot of sauteed onions. You can either get a sesame roll or not. Of course, you gotta get the sesame roll. And this thing, just like at Jim's, stuffed with meat. Like, just like stuffed in there. Oh my gosh. Oh, I didn't notice this. So I saw that my cheesesteak was a little, slanted towards the middle because that's where all the meat and cheese is. Look at that little puddle. Look at that little cheesy puddle right there. That's just all beef juice and cheese. And this thing, look at this. That's some tender cheesesteak. Wow, this. I don't even know how to put my cheesesteak back in without getting it all wet. Come to daddy. Oh, I want to hug you. Thank you for making me feel so happy. Guys, my taste buds are all just rocking and rolling right now. This beef, it's got more of a chew to it. I love the heavy beefy flavor. The onions, subtly sweet. The cheese, although it's only on the bottom, its presence is everywhere. Wow. This might be the cheesiest cheesesteak I had today. Roll, not as tender as Jim's, but it's got a nice chewy outer layer. And I love the fragrance and the crunch of the little sesame seeds. It's perfect. Actually, the onions is the unsung hero here. Provides such a subtly sweet contrast. And you get the cheese, and you get the beef, and then like you're almost like drowning in all that delicious creamy flavor. And then onions just come and makes everything a little less intense, a little more mellow. It's like a little sailboat guiding you through that sea of flavor. It's such a solid cheesesteak. I can't even begin to stop eating this. This is a solid 9 out of 10. Like, solid. Wow. Everything about this I love. Its passion, its personality, its insecurities, everything about it. I like to chew, and I see your inner beauty and all your cheese. Oh, this bite is so cheesy. Like I said, my day just keeps getting better and better. Let's keep on going. Cheesesteak number 4. My next stop brings me to Germantown, where I hear massive steak is supposed to be pretty darn good. If it tastes as good as it smells, I'm gonna be pretty happy. Wow, look at this. It's just a mountain of steak right here. I just kind of want to climb on the steak mountain and play King of the Beef Hill. When they ask you what size of a cheesesteak you want, you say large, they are not kidding around. It's the length of my arm. Oh, okay, so I was trying to figure out what size was on top. This whole thing is literally sitting on my arm right now, and it is overflowing by like a good 6 inches. And this is, like I said,
Cut that, edit it. Edit that.
I'm about to just like eat that off the ground, cause like I don't want to waste any beef. Oh yeah, baby. I'm losing beef. Beef down. I feel like this cheesesteak, it's just in your face, full of beef and flavor. From the onions, which are a little crispy, a little sweet, juicy, immensely cheesy. There's nothing hoity-toity about this. It's just in your face. Here's your beef, here's your cheese, here's some peppers, and we're gonna shove as much as we can of it into this bread. And then I give it to you, and you're gonna just basically figure out how to eat this, because it is... Can we have a moment of silence for all the beef that's fallen off my sandwich today? I'm about to like cry right now, because not a single piece of this should be wasted. Everything about this is just so bold, so aggressively delicious. The beef's got a good chew to it, and the meat that they're using, the more you chew, the more flavorful it gets. Wait a minute. I'm almost done with half of it. I could eat that. That's, you know what, it looked big, it looked intimidating, but it's so good, you won't realize how easy it all goes down. This place is pretty insane. That is really insane. That beef and cheese combo, that's like the Romeo and Juliet of cheesesteaks right there. Oh, $18 for that monster. This might be the best value cheesesteak in Philly, if not one of the tastiest. So glad I came here. All right, let me finish this up, then we got one more place to go. Finally, last cheesesteak of the day, D'Alessandro Steaks. I really anticipate this place because of all the recommendations of cheesesteaks in Philly, most people recommend I need to come here and try their cheesesteak. The expectation is high. My last cheesesteak of the day. And by the way they were cooking the cheesesteak in there, they literally have just this mountain, like a literal hill of beef. The beef reminds me of what Jim's looks like. It's basically chopped into pieces. Look at this. Beautiful layer of onions on top. One thing I love about places that really chop the beef up is that you can fit more of that into the bread. And more beef is always better. Oh, American cheese on the bottom covering the lower half of the beef. That's just all gooey cheese. I'll get to that. I'm not gonna forget about that. I am absolutely filled up to here with cheesesteak. I still can't wait to finish this one. What makes this so good is the beef. So amazingly tender. With the cheese, it's almost like eating a beefy, cheesy casserole. You can put that filling in anything, but this definitely needs a little acid. Get that little dip in the hot pepper. Oh yeah, a little bit of chili really highlights how awesome this beef is. It's probably most similar to what I had today at Jim's. The bun is fluffy and soft, the cheese is melty, the meat is tender, onions slightly crispy and sweet. Only thing is, the flavor of the beef itself is missing a bit for me. I taste the beef, I taste the cheese. I don't taste much seasoning on the beef itself, but it's winning my heart over just with how tender and cheesy this thing is. I think when she asked me if I wanted salt and pepper on this, I should have said yes, because it is missing a bit of salt and pepper. All right, hang on a second though. Let me try this again. All right. Cheesesteak number 2 here. I got some salt and pepper this time on my beef, and I got some sauce. So I don't know if this will make a difference. So they put marinara sauce, it looks like, on the cheesesteak. I don't know, I just saw a lot of people getting sauce, so I thought I'd better get some sauce too. Again, every single cheesesteak you get, absolutely loaded, which I love. Okay. If you ever come here, make sure to ask for salt and pepper. That's really, really important. They also have the fried chili, and I got some pickles as well. Probably one of the most tender steaks I've had today. I love the whole ensemble with the bread and the onions and the cheese. But again, even with the salt and pepper, I'm not loving the flavor of the meat. It's a bit too bland for me, and that's just my own personal opinion. Maybe it's because I'm used to really strong flavors, but the flavor itself is not really doing it for me. Well, anyway, this is my last cheesesteak here in Philadelphia. I think the best for me, it is so hard because all of these steaks are pretty darn awesome in their own way. But I think if I had to pick a favorite, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say it's Jim's. That steak was tender, it was flavorful, the cheese was melty, delicious, the bread was scrumptious and fluffy. I think the most value for your dollar cheesesteak's gotta be at Max's. I mean, you saw that thing. That thing was longer than my arm. And it was loaded with cheese and ingredients. Also, I saw if you ask for mushrooms there, they literally stuffed the beef in the bread first, which is already full. Then they put the mushrooms on top with some more beef. That's definitely a really fulfilling cheesesteak. And of course, John's I love not as much for their cheesesteak, but really for that delicious pork sandwich that I'm gonna be thinking about that for a long time. It's like a long distance food lover I only get to see like once every 10 years. But again, what a thrilling day. Thank you for having me, Philadelphia. You guys are awesome. You make some of the best sandwiches in the world. And I cannot wait to come back and taste some more of your delicious eats. Again, guys, this is just my own personal opinion. You don't have to agree, but let me know in the comments below which Philadelphia cheesesteak or sandwich is your favorite. And as always, all the places I went to is listed for you in my description box below. Thank you all so much for watching. Until we eat again. See you later.